Hi all, welcome. In this video, we are going to set up a code pipeline with two stages, source stage and deploy stage. It's a simple web application. We are going to use CodeCommit as the source library, and we are going to use CodeDeploy for deployment. We will create a repository in CodeCommit and then clone that into our local Linux machine as Git repository. Then we will add our code files and make changes in the local Git repository, commit it, and then push that code back into CodeCommit. And once the code is pushed back into CodeCommit, it will trigger CodePipeline and the deployment will happen. Okay, let's begin. So as the first step in this exercise, let me set up a local development environment using Cloud9. So I'm already in Cloud9. Let me create a new environment. I will name it as CodeCommit. Any name you can give. Come down. I'll go for a new EC2 instance. And instance type I will go with T2 Micro, which is fine. Platform I will go with again default Amazon Linux. Come down. I will use default values for most of these. Connection I will use Systems Manager. Come down. Create. So to create this Cloud9 environment, it will take a couple of minutes. But while we are waiting for it, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and create CodeCommit repository. So let me go to CodeCommit. So I'm in CodeCommit. As you know, CodeCommit, code build, code deploy, code pipeline, everything is in one single console. So I'm in CodeCommit. I have to create a repository. Click on create repository. Repository name, you can give any name, but here I'm going to give my demo repo, and description optional, that is okay. You don't need to add anything more. You can just create. And I'm creating it in US East 1. You can do it in your own preferred region. Create. Okay. Now click on repositories and it will list your repository here. And you have to copy the clone URL for HTTPS because we want to clone this repository into your Cloud9 IDE. So just copy the clone URL and go back to your Cloud9 and then click on open. It's actually setting up Cloud9. Okay, so it is ready. You can close this tab on the bottom and open one on the side so that you will get more space. You have to click on new terminal. Okay, so here you are in this folder, EC2 user environment. You have already copied the clone URL from CodeCommit. You can clone your repository here using command git clone and then paste whatever you have already copied. Enter. So it says you appear to have cloned an empty repository. That is fine. I'm going to add contents into that. Now if you do ls, you can see that my demo repository is created. Now I need the code to be added. So we need to download the code which we are going to use. You can download it from this URL. I will include this URL in my cheat sheet. So you can use wget command, and this is the location where you can get the sample app for Linux, the zipped file for that. Okay, now again do ls. You can see that my demo repo folder is there and simple app Linux zip file is there. Okay, now we need to unzip this zip file. For that you can use this command. So it will unzip all the contents of this file into my demo repo folder. Now just do ls. Now go to my demo repo, cd environment my demo repo, and just do ls. You can see all the contents are here: index.html, appspec.yaml, and scripts. Inside scripts there are a few more scripts which will get executed during deployment. So we have got all the files which is required for deployment. Now these files are in the local machine. I need to push this into CodeCommit. We will do that, but before that we have to commit these files into the Git repository. Now as the first step, we have to add all these files into the staging area. Before that, just do git status and it will show all these files in red font, which shows that these files are there but they are not yet added to the staging area of the Git repository. To add them into the staging area, you can do git add -a and again repeat git status. It will show up in green color. which means it is already in the staging area. Now if I commit, all these files will be committed to the Git repository. So let me do that. Git commit -m should be followed by the commit message, add sample app files. So we have already committed all these files into the local Git repository. If you do git log, it will show that there is one commit. Now the next thing is we have to push this code into CodeCommit. Before that, once again, let us go back to CodeCommit and open the repository. And you can see that there are no files here. You have to add file. Either you can directly add all those files here by uploading it, but what we are doing is we created those in the local Git repository and we are pushing it here. So let us do that. Go to Cloud9 again and just do this command git push. Because we cloned this Git repository from CodeCommit, it will directly push the code back to CodeCommit. So it is completed. Let us go back to CodeCommit, refresh this. You can see that all the files are pushed into CodeCommit. So this part is done, code is ready. But we haven't set up our EC2 where the deployment need to happen, and we haven't set up our CodePipeline and CodeDeploy application. So that is the next step. So go to EC2. I have already created one Linux instance, which is CodeCommit demo. So I have actually used an Amazon Linux 2. It's an Amazon Linux 2. It is T2 micro and it is in the same region. And one very important thing is that it has an IAM role. You have to provide it with an IAM role which has two permission policies attached. Let us see what are those policies for EC2 role for CodeDeploy. Let's go to IAM, and from IAM go to roles and search for EC2 role for CodeDeploy. Open, come down, and you can see there are two policies attached. One is Amazon EC2 role for AWS CodeDeploy, so that this EC2 can actually have the CodeDeploy agent and function on behalf of CodeDeploy. And then we have one more SSM managed instance core, so that system manager can actually install CodeDeploy agent onto this EC2. I'll mention these policy names in my cheat sheet, which you can refer to. So EC2 is also ready. And one more thing which you need to take care with respect to the EC2 is the security group. The security group should have two inbound rules to allow port 22 and port 80, either from my IP or maybe it could be from public internet. Okay, so when you create EC2, take care of three things. One, it is Amazon Linux 2. Two, security group should have 22 and 80 open. Three, it should have an IAM role which has two policies attached with this, which I will list in my cheat sheet. So the EC2 is also ready. The next thing is you have to create the application in CodeDeploy. So again, go back to CodeCommit. So come back to CodeCommit and here go to deploy. Go to applications. First we have to create an application. Create application. You can give any name. My demo app. Compute platform is EC2 or on-premises. Create the application. Now we have to create a deployment group within that application. So click on create deployment group. Any name you can give. BPGRP. Any name is okay. Service role. This is important. So you need to provide a service role to your CodeDeploy, which will give permissions to CodeDeploy to access to your target instances. So again, I have already created that, but let us go to IAM and I will show you which policies are attached with that. It is CodeDeploy service role. Click on that. So you can see that it has one permission policy, AWS CodeDeploy role. So you need to create that role. And when you are creating the deployment group, just select that role. Come down, deployment type, let it be in place. Environment configuration, it will be Amazon EC2 instances. And how do we identify all the EC2 instances where we have to do the deployment? Wherever the name tag matches CodeCommit demo. This is the name given to the EC2 instance, if you remember. CodeCommit demo. That's what you have to mention here. Come down, install AWS CodeDeploy agent. Now on schedule update. So it will install CodeDeploy agent here through systems manager. That is why we had added the systems manager permission policy to EC2 instance profile. Come down, deployment configuration, deploy all at once. Anyway, we have only one target. Load balancer, we don't need it, so unselect this. That's it. Create the deployment group. Now the next thing is we have to create the code pipeline. So come down, click on code pipeline, click on pipelines, click on create pipeline, and you can give any name. My demo pipeline. Pipeline type, let it be v2 default value. So we will not change the default values unless it is really required. New service role, leave the default name there. In case if there is any issue, then we will come back and change the pipeline name. Come down, variables, nothing, click on next. Source provider, our source code actually comes from CodeCommit. So select CodeCommit, and it is asking for repository name. We have created only one repository, so select that. Branch name, we have only master branch, so select that. Change detection options and output artifact format, leave the default values, go to next. We are not doing build because it is a very simple HTML web app deployment. So I will skip build stage. Then deployment. Deployment has to be done through CodeDeploy. Region, North Virginia, that is okay. Application name, whichever application name you had created. My demo app. And deployment group, DEP GRP. This is what I created. Anyway, I have only one application and one deployment group created, so it is easy. Go to next. So now the code pipeline is ready. If I click on create pipeline, it should actually complete the deployment onto that particular EC2 instance. Click on create pipeline. So you can see that our demo pipeline has two stages. One is source and one is deploy. So it is downloading the contents from the source stage, or it is downloading the content from CodeCommit. Once that is complete, it will move on to the second stage. So the first stage is complete, now it is the second stage. So the code deployment is complete. Now if you go to deploy and click on deployments, you can see that this deployment is complete. Click on this and come down, you will see the instance ID. So click on this one. Let us find the public DNS name. Come down. So this is the public IPv4 DNS. Select that and go to another window and paste it. So you can see this is the page. It is a simple one. Congratulations, this application was deployed using AWS CodeDeploy. Now let us try to make some changes to this page and then push those changes to CodeCommit and then see the automatic deployment happening through pipeline. So let us go to Cloud9. I want to make a simple change to index.html. So you can use vi index.html. So I will just change the font color and the background color. I'll make it 000. And background color also, let me change it. Okay. Now I'll also change the message which is getting displayed. So it says congratulations. I'll say congratulations again. So I changed the message also a little bit. So just save it. Now I'm going to commit these changes and then push these changes into CodeCommit. So let me do that. So git commit -am means it will skip the staging area and then directly commit the changes. So commit is done. You can just do git log and you can see that there are 2 commits. Now just push it, and as soon as it is pushed into CodeCommit, it will trigger code pipeline. So if you go to code pipeline, select the pipeline, you can see that now it shows that both the stages are completed. But as soon as I push the code, this source will turn blue and it will again start execution. So let me go back and git push. Okay, so the code is pushed into CodeCommit. So soon it should start the execution again. Let me refresh it and see. So you can see that it is executing the second part. First part is already done. It is actually executing the deployment part. As soon as the deployment is done, you will be able to see the revised web page. Right now the web page looks like this, but if you refresh it You can see, congratulations again, this application was updated using CodePipeline, CodeCommit and CodeDeploy. That is the message which we had updated. Okay, so this was a hands-on exercise to show how you can use CodeCommit as the source repository and how you can clone your code into your local repository, make all the changes, and finally when you are done with the changes, you can push the code into CodeCommit. It will trigger the code pipeline to complete the deployment. So please try out this exercise by yourself, and I'll be creating a few more AWS DevOps related videos. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Bye.